Hey, welcome back. So, today I want to tell you a story of the craziest and most insane delusion that I've had. So, this was when you're in a homeless shelter, you have to be referred to some type of program. So, this program works with people who are HIV positive. And so someone referred me to that person, and when you call, they hook you up, but you have to get approved. So there is a 2 week wait, and the program pays 2 weeks in a hotel for you. So so you get 2 weeks of free hotel stay every year if you refer. So I had been in the homeless shelter for about a year now, and it had been more than a year. Um, Actually, it was more like a year and 3 months that I stayed in the homeless shelter. So I they told me one day, "Hey, you're done with we cannot house you any longer. You need to get your belongings and go." So I was staying at Father Joe's Village, and this is the thing: at the homeless shelter, when you get a job, they began charging you. They wanted $800 out of my paycheck, which I paid only once. And well, in looking at the entire, I guess, image picture, paying $800 for a whole year of housing isn't bad, but it was really bad because my gang stalking got worse in there. It got really, really bad. So I made the phone call, right? And yeah, they hooked me up with 2 years of staying in a hotel. So I, like usual, I was still using drugs, and I wanted to play. So in the beginning, I did play one day, but it was only gang stalkers that were coming to my hotel room. They literally were just there to tease, and then they would just leave. So I kicked them out. There was one guy who I had a crush on, who was really beautiful, and he came in with a bad intention. He wanted to hurt me while he was stopping me. When this was happening, my body was so tired that my body didn't register the pain. So I even pretended like nothing was happening. Like I enjoyed it the most I could. And because I didn't say anything about the pain that he was causing me, he was unsettled. That's what I wanted him. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of just stopping, of just telling him that I was in pain. So he wanted to stop because he was like, "Well, aren't you in pain right now?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Just keep going." Because I wanted to F him so that he would know to not play with me like that. So I just kept telling him, "Oh yeah, just keep going. It feels amazing," even though it was hurting. But I was just able to relax, and because I had been getting gang stalked so much, like I was hearing voices, everything was just feeling really crazy. I My brain was just not feeling any pain. Like during this time, my pain tolerance had gone up like really, really, really high. So setting that aside, I decided, no, I don't want to go through this anymore. I just want to rest, and I want to make myself feel better. So I cut it off. I went to sleep, and I went to work. So the voices began telling me, "Oh yeah, he raped you. He was trying to purposely hurt you. You just got raped." And they were repeating that. The voices were repeating, "You just got raped. You just got raped." And then there was the voice of a woman. So I'm gonna call her Anna, but because I don't want to be calling her shit cunt, because I named her shit cunt. because she was a shit, a cunt, and a bitch. So I named her that. And she was the voice that was always trying to say the most hurtful things that anyone could tell to any human being. And she was like, yeah, you just got, like, during the whole time that I was trying to find a hookup, the voice would tell me, yeah, they're just wasting your time, no, kick him out. Like, when you're getting gangstalked and you're hearing voices, the voices don't stop. They're just, it's like you have someone speaking in your ear telling you all these things. So even when you're trying to have a pleasant time, the voices are gonna be just overwhelmingly, they're gonna just be speaking into your ear. And you cannot make them shut up because you're hearing the thoughts of your superconscious. So, well, I got up and then I went to work. So I'm gonna change the names of the people and of the club, because this is a story where there's a club involved, the biggest club in San Diego, Riches. So I'm gonna name the club, and I'm just gonna change the names of people. If you just happen to know who I am and happen to know this, just know that the person that I'm renaming has nothing to do with this, and I love him to death. He's amazing, and I have no idea why this delusions just took this name. Like, it was insane. Well, anyways, so this time was when I began to play more with the voices. So I did a little bit of drugs, and then I went to work, and then the voices were telling me, oh yeah, you're whatever, you're a jerk, you're this, you're that. You hear these voices because this is a government sponsored program, and we're running an experiment on you, because this is a woman speaking to me. Anna is speaking to me, and she's just saying, this is a government sponsored program, and we're trying to implant voices on people. And the voices happen when you don't even realize it. So by this point, I was under the impression that whenever there were people around, that when there was a lot of chatter in the background, that there was someone just programming these voices into my head. So apparently these voices were telling me, yeah, there's a government programs, and we are conducting an experiment on you, and these why. And there were two vans right in front of me when I was driving to work. I was driving from downtown to Imperial Beach, and I was driving, and there were two white vans. The whole time that I was going into work, they were there. And then the voices was just like, yeah, and I don't remember what else they were saying, but this is when I was really still sensitive to the turn signals, to the headlights. Like, I was really, really sensitive. I was so connected to gangstalking, like you wouldn't believe. Like, I would look in the cars, and I would see the drivers just do that. And then whenever there was a time where I was feeling tooth pain, and then I would look when I was driving, and then I would see gangstalkers just holding their jaw like that, as if they were mocking me because I was feeling tooth pain. But that was just because I was under the impression that everyone was a gangstalker. Now, I was driving to work, and then I got to work, and then the voices just got vicious. Like, they were saying, well, they were saying, so for some reason, I had a memory where I had sex with my dad, even though I never did. And this, for some reason, that's what the voices were holding against me. They were like, yeah, you had sex with your dad, and this and that, you're such a whore, and all of these crazy things. So then the voices, what happened is that whenever you're hearing voices, you hear your own thoughts. Like, my thoughts, when you hear your own thoughts, they just echo inside your mind. And then when you have another thought, it is just echoed on top of the other one. And then when you have another thought, it just echoed on top of another one. So my head was a mess, where I was just hearing all these different thoughts, one on top of the other. And they were just repeating and repeating, like if it was an echo chamber, where all my thoughts were just, they would just filling my mind with my own thoughts, and they were hearing them. And then the voices were threatening me. They were just like, all these thoughts that you're hearing, everyone can hear your thoughts right now. We're not allowing anyone hear your thoughts, but we will. And every thought that you have, every single thing that you have, everyone in San Diego is gonna hear it. Everyone is gonna know it. And they were saying, this is what the voice was saying. Well, you know what? You need to let me control your body. If you don't let me control you, everyone is going to hear everything that you're thinking. And then the voice was saying, well, Michael Alvarez, I'm going to just call him Michael Alvarez. Michael Alvarez is the owner of Riches. And he was saying, yeah, so Michael Alvarez hates you because he had a crush on Dan, your ex, and because he wanted Dan for you. For him, he paid everyone, including the cops, to ruin you, to destroy you, because he's super mad at you and he fucking hates your guts. And he is gonna make a fool of you. He's going to destroy you. He paid every single person in San Diego to conspire against you, to destroy you. And I love Michael Alvarez. He's amazing. He's the sweetest and most amazing person I have ever met. He's loaded. He owns the biggest gay club in San Diego. And I worked for him, and so then, and I even heard his voice, and he was just like, hey Efren, how you doing, how are you feeling right now that I'm taking over? And it said, if you don't let him control you, from here, he is gonna make sure that all San Diego hears everything that you're thinking, including that you had sex with your dad, and including that you did this and that and this and that. And I was getting threats from the voices about everything that I had done, all my darkest secrets. I was threatened to have all my darkest secrets broadcasted to every single person in San Diego. Now, and the voice was saying, well, now you have to let me control you. And I just gave in. I let it control me. And so there was was where I relaxed, and so me allowing the voice to control me, it was when I had to move my consciousness to the back of my head, to the back of my eyeballs, and then I would relax, and then I was just doing the work, and it literally felt like if another being was controlling me. So I began to work, right? So pause the story. I'm gonna go on another topic. So this whole time, I believe strongly that the whole purpose of Gangstalking is to have me behave like an insane person, to just for the gangstalkers to produce me to just explode and blow up and act like I was crazy, so they would have proof, and to be publicly humiliated into me acting as if I was a completely insane person. So then I just let the voice take control of me, and I just began doing it. And then, well, we're back to the story now. And then the voice literally, when I was taking care of a client, the voice told me, now act like crazy. And I was just like, what? In my head. And it said, yeah, now just act like you're insane. And I was just like, no, I'm not. I'm never gonna do that. And this is when I just knew that it was all a trick. So then the voice literally said, well, if you don't act like crazy right now and just let me control you, we are going to disengage the lock of your thoughts, and we're gonna let everyone hear every single thought that you're having right now. And I was just like, so this is when then the voice stopped, and then I began hearing my thoughts again, and I began hearing them echo. and echo, and then whenever I heard like a bang, remember I had been sensitized to hear the bangs. A nasty thought came, like, oh yeah, you had sex with your dad, and this and that, and you were wearing white pants. So I'm just changing the actual secret, because it is not something that I'm comfortable saying here, but I'm just changing it to another secret, a made up secret. So then the voice was saying, yeah, and then when I let everyone know what you are thinking, they're gonna hear everything for the rest of the day. And then I don't see it, and then the voice kept insisting. It kept saying, yes, act like crazy now. So then I went to lunch. And then I went to Al's Burgers, which is amazing, by the way, on Imperial Beach. And then I began to eat. And then the voices changed. And then apparently the voices said, oh yeah, we're 3 Mexican guys that deal cocaine. And we are talking to you via voice to skull from Tijuana. And then they were just saying, yeah, you're so fucking stupid because you haven't figured out this game now. And then this is when I had my iPad on me, and then I just began writing the notes. Like, I began writing the notes on everything that had happened to me with Gangstalking, all my assumptions, all my observations, everything, which we are gonna go over later. So then I began writing the notes, and then the voices said, you better not be writing the notes. You better delete them. And then I used Evernote. Actually, no, I was on my phone, and then I was just adding what the voices were telling me on my phone. And then the voices were just like, we're gonna freaking kill you. And then I began feeling all kinds of sensations. My heart began pounding. It was this intense emotion, like, oh my God, I'm gonna get murdered. And then the voice said, throw your phone away. And then I was just like, hell no, I'm not throwing my phone. Throw your damn phone away, or we're gonna kill you. And then I was just like, no way, I'm not throwing my phone away. I refused to. So then I just kept typing, right? And I just kept writing what the voices were telling me. So then then the voice said, well, put it in the front counter so that Bernice can take your phone. And so that she can erase everything, and we're gonna give you a new phone. So then I was just like, no. And then, so my lunch was over, and I drove from Al's Burgers back to work. And then the voices began saying, so you're not gonna act like crazy, huh? I was just like, no, I'm not. But I'm still gonna let you control me. And then the voice said, well, you have made this choice. We are going to let everyone in San Diego hear what you're thinking. Everyone is gonna hear your darkest secrets. And then I was just like, well, frick it. And then so remember that the voice, that your thoughts just echo in your mind, and the voice shut off, and then it said, well, if you don't want everyone to hear what you're thinking, you have to think one thought. No one knows how thoughts work. Only you know that they will bounce in your head. So you're gonna have to be thinking the same thought over and over again for the rest of your shift until your 8 hours of work are over. And then I was just like, I tried it for like 5 minutes, but I couldn't. And then, I mean, I literally had to block every single thought that I had, and only let the thought of whatever it is, some random thought, and I had to constantly repeat it and block my mind from having any other thought. So this is getting kind of intense, and I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Well, a little bit, but I'm gonna keep going. Thank you. Hi, I'm back. So then I refused, and then my mom came in my head, and then my mom said, Efren, we're using this device this technological device. It's kind of alien technology, and oh yeah, and I have seen and heard everything that you have gone through. And then the voices came, and then the voices of the males that were part of the program. They were like, yeah, this is actually a rehabilitation program, and your mom has seen everything that you have done, and she has seen that you have given AIDS to 51 people in San Diego. And when this happened, I was taking care of my health. I was taking all these precautions to make sure that didn't happen. And then but at this time, I believed everything that the voices were saying, and I completely forgot that I was already taking the most precautions anyone could possibly have. Plus, I was making sure to have sex with people who are HIV positive so that there would be no risk. So then, freaking, I don't know what to do. And then this trolley is so annoying. So then my mom began just cursing me. You motherfucker, ass, hijo de tu pinche puta perra, bomba madre, ¿cómo te atreves? Le has dado sida a 51 personas. ¿Cómo te fuiste a San Diego? Me has arruinado la vida. Mira, tienes la reputación, me la has arruinado a mí, se la has arruinado a toda tu familia, te la has arruinado tú solo. ¿Cómo te atreves a hacerle eso a toda la gente de San Diego? Hijo de tu pinche puta perra, bomba madre. That's what the voices were saying. And what my mom was saying me through the voice and using this technology. And apparently she had seen everything that I had done. She had access to all my memories. And she had seen this dark secret. And she was like, eres un hijo de puta madre, me das asco, ¿cómo te atreves? I went to the restroom and I couldn't cry. I had the biggest knot on my throat, but I had worked so hard on not having any type of emotion that I just simply couldn't cry, and I wanted to so bad. But for years I had made sure not to cry, not to feel anything, because that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to give Gangstalkers the pleasure of watching me be emotionally destroyed. So then I managed to break through and actually managed a single tear. It was the driest tear I have ever had, but I had it and I feel better. And then I felt that then your mom has been you, and then the voices, my voice, the voice began telling me, the voice that was part of the drug treatment took over, and then the voice was saying, Efren, you have been absorbing all the anguish of your mother this whole time, and you haven't had a chance to express it. So cry, just take it out. Cry. We want to make you cry because we want you to have to release all this anguish about everything that has happened to you. And I forced it so hard, But it was the day before I had sex with this guy, and then I got all this guy's fluids out of me. And then my mom came on and she was, Efren, you're freaking disgusting. Everyone at work is hearing all the fluids that are coming out of your ass. That is freaking disgusting. And it was a lot. And the voices would, and then, let me pause. And then, my mom just kept cursing. Hijo de tu pinche puta perra, bomba madre, ¿cómo atreves a infectar a todo San Diego? Me das vergüenza. And then the voice blended with the sound of the toilet. You know when the toilet, you flush it, but there's still water running, and you just hear shh, that the water is flowing into the tank. And then my mom's voice disappeared. It disappeared. And then I went out with my face swollen. My eyes were red from the effort that I had put into making a single tear come out. So then I come out, and then Ryan Bedrosian comes out. That's his name. But then again, I'm sorry it just came out. But again, he's the most amazing person ever. He has nothing to do with this. And I have no idea what it happened. So then his voice comes out. Miguel Alvarez, I call him, I guess. So Miguel Alvarez came out. And then, well, the owner of the club, Miguel Alvarez. I'm not sure if I changed his name to the name that I had before, but let's call him Miguel Alvarez. And, well, and then he said, well, that's what you get for fucking with me. And then it said, well, now every person in San Diego is gonna know what type of person you are and everything that you have done. And I said, fuck it. It is what it is. But I refuse to be like a zombie, blocking every single thought from my head. And then it happened. And then I just ignored everything. And then hundreds of voices began being transmitted into my voice. Efren, you're disgusting. I can't believe you did that. That's so gross. And then they went away. And then the main voice, the antagonistic voice, the voice of the person that was running this whole program, the other person, the one that was part of the Coke mafia that had all this alien technology, said, well, apparently you know the truth, huh? You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna act like crazy, and you are not gonna be blocking your thoughts, huh? Then it appears that you know the truth. That nothing like this is real. And then, well, fuck you then. We're gonna destroy you anyways. And then I walked out of the restroom. Well, I was already out of the restroom when this happened. And then I just cannot keep working. I just can't. I just can't work anymore. I needed a break. And then I went to my boss and I told her, Bernice, I can't keep working. I am not well. I just can't keep working. I have to leave. And then she gave me the number for the mental health for work. So then I left work, and then she said, okay, you can leave. And then I was about to tell her that I was using drugs, but I didn't. So then I said to myself, there's no way I'm gonna give these gang stalkers the glory of watching me leave work crying. That is never gonna happen. So then I put my O'Reilly hat down, and then I leave work with my head down, and then I go back home. Back to the hotel, the Newport Hotel, and on Industry in Little Italy. So I went there, and then the voices said, this voice now was a friendly one. Hey guys, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a longer break. I'm gonna stop this video right now, and I'm gonna continue it in a little bit. My voice needs a little break. I'm yelling because I am here at a toilet station and there's a lot of noise. I just hope that you have been able to hear my voice. That's exactly the reason that I'm yelling. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna record my next video immediately, and I'm gonna then upload it as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Bye.